I have another tip here for you for when you're in the bush looking for birds. On a separate clip I've shown you the little Audubon bird caller where you can make a little sound, and sometimes that will attract small birds close to you. You can do a similar thing just by using your lips and making a sort of sound. It's variously called pishking and whisking and whatever by bird watchers. It's essentially doing a pursing of the lips sound. A sort of sound like that. You're just making a sound that means that birds that are close to you, perhaps concealed in bushes, are curious about the sound and they'll come out. So you're standing still, you're near some bushes, you make that sound, and the birds come out and become more visible to you. That can work quite well with some birds. Of course, one of the real tricks with birds is to also, when you're moving through the bush, not make fast motions. So if you see a bird on the ground or whatever and you're approaching it, don't do sort of large motions with your hand. Lift your hat off, put your hat back on. Keep your motions sort of constrained and somber as you're approaching birds, because they will react to those sort of loud sounds. Some birds, like emus for example, will be attracted to curious things. So I've seen it work where someone's had a hanky and they've stood still themselves and there's been emus nearby, and just flashing a hanky backwards and forwards in your hand, or some tissues in your hand, that just makes a sort of strange motion. And some birds like emus may come a little closer to see what this curious motion is. So there's a couple of things you can do to make birds come closer to you or approach you more closely, but really at the end of the day it's moving quietly and without a lot of motion through the bush to get closer to birds that are in the wild. And that will be a much better, for many species of birds, that's probably the best tip that you can give to get close to them.